This is a biggie when it comes to our resilience. How many people do you know who are mood hoovers, who are energy vampires, who are dementors? Leave me a comment below. Let me know, what do you call them? Whatever you call them, they are everywhere. We all know the type. It could be at work, it could be at home. We feel great and then the next minute we're surrounded by this toxic energy and it's like our life force has been drained from us. You may even be a mood hoover yourself. Imagine that. No, never, I hear you say. I don't have any toxic energy. I'm a very positive person. It's a bit like sometimes when we say we're such a great judge of character. I always think, well, we can't all be great judges of character. I'm Chris and we are delving into how we can protect ourselves and our resilience from this toxic energy. And we're starting now. The first thing it's really important to mention is that there is a huge difference between somebody who needs our support and somebody who might have toxic energy and be one of those mood hoovers. And there is a difference. If we think of someone as a bit of a temporary mood hoover, then they might be going through a really difficult time. And we all have those, we all have difficult times. So we could find that there might be a few months where they're energetically draining to be around, as opposed to a permanent mood hoover, somebody who inherently has this as part of their character. They might change, though it's unlikely, and they probably don't want to work on themselves to that degree to change anything. So there is that difference between somebody who might be temporarily draining as opposed to somebody with very toxic energy who is permanently a bit of a mood hoover. When we're faced with that toxic energy, one of the most important things that we need to do is set boundaries. These people, they often want us to join in on their pity parties. And so many of us are worried about offending people or being perceived as rude that we might just go along with it and join in on the party, even though it's a party we know we don't want to be at. Here's the trick. You get to decide who you give your energy to. That is totally within your control. We can decide not to get sucked into other people's emotional drama. Or that's not always possible. Perhaps we have no way of getting away from the toxic energy completely. In that case, it can be great to get into a habit of asking people what they're going to do to try and fix the problem. Chances are it could help to focus them away from the problem more towards that solution, or even more likely is that they'll quickly realise that you are perhaps not the best person to come to when they're looking to have a vent. If this is your first time on the channel and you're liking what you're getting, make sure you'll subscribe and hit that bell. There are loads more videos for your mindset and resilience. So who you decide to give your energy to is completely within your control. And some people we can help by being a good influence or setting a good example. And there are others that we simply cannot help. So learn to tell the difference. When it comes to toxic mood hoovers, stop trying to desperately control what is outside of your control, other people's behaviour. Think of their venting as a monkey. They're trying to chuck their monkey over the fence and onto your shoulder. Yes, I know it's not a monkey. Use your imagination. There's a brilliant Polish proverb which I love. It's one of my favourite quotes. You've probably heard it. Not my circus, not my monkey. Stop trying to change people and chuck their monkey back. Okay, so it's back to the stuff that you are fully in control of. Do you react or do you respond? When we react, it can be that knee-jerk eruption of emotion because something within us has been triggered. When that happens, do the work to unpick those triggers, to build your consciousness of them. Sometimes we have to work back after we've been triggered, after the moment has passed. Listen to the little signals that your body and your physiology send you. Those little signs that tell us that something's not right. By working on those reactions, we realise that we get a choice in terms of how we want to respond to the toxic energy, in a way where we don't have to feed it. And when we talk about responses, your response could be a positive response, it could be a neutral response. And that can sometimes be enough to help people notice their negativity. But remember, it is not your job to try and change them. Let me know in the comments what is your top self-care tip for your resilience when it comes to dealing with toxic energy. If you haven't already joined the club, hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you know when I'm back for more support for your mindset strength. And if you think you might have a little bit of toxic energy yourself, I know I joked earlier, but do check out these videos on dealing with negative thoughts and emotions and managing your inner critic to reduce your self-doubt. Go watch them now, you won't regret it. That's it for now, over and out. I will see you soon. Bye.